Chapter 3, Common Relationship Challenges. Lesson 3.1, Identifying Toxic Patterns. Introduction to toxic relationship patterns. Even the strongest couples can fall into some pretty nasty relationship habits from time to time. These toxic patterns can erode trust, shut down communication, and kill emotional connection faster than you'd think. The good news? Once you spot them, you can take action to break the cycle and avoid lasting damage. In this lesson, we're diving into the most common toxic patterns that creep into relationships, and more importantly, how to break free from them before they take over. Common toxic patterns in relationships. Escalation. Ever had a small disagreement explode into a full-blown argument before you even realized it? That's escalation at work. Instead of calmly talking things through, both partners dig in, get defensive, and things spiral out of control. Invalidation. Invalidation happens when one partner brushes off or belittles the other's feelings. Sarcasm, criticism, or just flat out ignoring your partner's emotions can leave them feeling resentful and disconnected. Withdrawal. This is when one person decides to check out, emotionally, physically, or both. Avoiding conflict might seem like the easy way out, but it only makes things worse by creating more emotional distance. Negative interpretation. Assuming the worst about your partner's intentions? This one's a relationship killer. Miscommunication thrives when you start seeing everything they say or do in the worst possible light, leading to defensiveness and mistrust. How to break free from toxic patterns. If you've spotted any of these behaviors in your relationship, don't worry, there are ways to turn things around. Here's how. 1. Awareness. Step 1 is recognizing that these patterns are there. Take a good, honest look at your behavior and ask yourself if any of these toxic patterns are playing a role in your relationship. 2. Communicate constructively. Instead of throwing blame around, try using I statements like I feel or I need. It makes a huge difference when you express yourself without pointing fingers. 3. Practice validation. You don't always have to agree, but you do need to validate each other's feelings. Let your partner know their emotions are real and worth listening to, even if you see things differently. 4. Stay engaged. Resist the urge to withdraw when conversations get tough. Stay present, even when it's uncomfortable. It's better to face issues head-on than to let them simmer and grow. 5. Challenge negative assumptions. Catch yourself when you're assuming the worst. Instead of jumping to conclusions, ask for clarification. You'll be surprised how much easier it is when you give your partner the benefit of the doubt. 6. Seek help if needed. If the toxic patterns just won't quit, it might be time to get some outside help. Couples therapy or counseling can be a game changer, offering fresh perspectives and tools to tackle the issues. Reflection exercise. Take a few moments to think about your relationship and see if any toxic patterns are lurking. Ask yourself, are there conflicts that seem to escalate out of nowhere? How do you usually respond to your partner's feelings? Do you acknowledge them or shut them down? Do either of you tend to check out or avoid difficult conversations? Are you quick to assume the worst about your partner's actions or words? By identifying and addressing these patterns, you can take the first steps toward building a healthier, more supportive relationship.